Good morning, my dear students. Today we will have a discussion on fuel injection system. Okay, so what is the function of injection systems in a SI engines? Okay, almost all the vehicles. Is the diagrams we are having a different types of fuel injection systems are used. Okay, now this is the whole setup diagram will be there. Fuel injection system. Okay, so what are the different types of fuel injection system? So before this, what is the injection means? We will understand. Okay, so it is a injection nothing but it is a special pump send the fuel under the pressure from the fuel tank to the engine. Okay na, by where we can still you can increase or decrease the pressure, and it is distributed into the each cylinder. Okay, the fuel mixes with an air passing through the inlet manifold or a port or exhaust valve, and that will enters into the combustion chamber. Combustion chamber, from the combustion chamber ignition takes place. That is about the injection system. Okay, that is about the fuel system. So there are number different types of fuel injection systems are using. Okay, how do fuel injection can do, or how can we can work? Okay, now fuel injectors are the parts of a modern car engines that delivers a fuel to the engine combustion system. Okay, now with the help of some directly or indirectly. Okay, and the sum of devices, they are using some devices, electrochemical or sensor, and based on this the fuel injection systems are classified. That is, first one is a port fuel injection system, okay, shortly called as PFI, and throttle body fuel injection system, mechanical or CIS injection system. And in 1958 Corvette first fuel injection systems are developed with help of manual. Okay na, so these are classified based on mechanical or electronics parts. Okay. So the basic electronic parts are computer circuit board. Okay na, so computer see that is called as PCM parts, that is electronic parts. So logic devices, sometimes they are using sensors are using in internal operating system. Okay na, actuator, so actuator, from the actuator output device the compute the operator. Okay, mechanical device parts means fuel tank they are using, fuel pump they are using, fuel filter and liners are using, injectors or injectors are using, fuel rails are using, pressure regulators are using to transfer the fuel into the cylinder chamber. So these are the different types of electronic injection system, that again they are made for into two types, electronics and mechanical devices. Okay, so these are the what are the electronics parts. Okay, electronic parts, that the computer logic devices are they are used. So here small type I shown in the pictures, these are the small parts which will be fitted in the vehicle, so to detect or something. Okay, which will help to the vehicles. Okay, so sensors are used to give the input data to the computer. Actuator output devices, the computer by with computer will operate. Okay, fuel filter and fuel lines, so these are the devices which are fitted to the vehicle. Okay, it will shock on a gas pump or inline screen in an injectors. Okay, fuel rail and pressure regulator, so these are the injector, that is it will regulate the pressure and control the pressure into the injectors. Okay, how to it will control the pressure of a fuel while going to the injector. Okay, now from the pressurized adjusted for the change in the intake manifold vacuum also. Okay, some of the mechanical but new car used in electronic system, these are the some fuel time, fuel pump or fuel these are older vehicles are used. Nowadays all our electronic system will be very small part, that is sensors are using. Okay na, so next to fuel injectors, so it will operate by electrically valve. Okay, now fuel pump pumps the fuel injector to form the fuel tank. Okay, so computer trigger valve with an electrical signal also called as pulse. These pulses can be generated and to stop the vehicle, and this system is used in interlock braking system. Okay, fuel injector parts, so I shown in the diagram, this will be fitted to the, all the components are fitted to the vehicle. Okay, solenoid also, sometimes solenoid also they are using. So these are the different types of components, that is sensor they are using for the modern cars, new cars. Okay, so these are the electronic sensors. Okay, manifold absolute pressure, shortly called as map, mass airflow, engine coolant temperature, intake air temperature, throttle position sensor, these are the sensor which are using for the modern cars or updated cars. Okay, manifold absolute pressure sensor, it will measure the pressure difference between the atmospheric pressure and the intake manifold vacuum, it will detect the automatic. Okay, so mass airflow sensor also, it will measure the mass of air entering into the intake to the manifold. Okay, so there is nothing manual work, everything will be measure will automatic. Okay na, so these throttle position sensors are used to measure the throttle angle for the PCM, how much angle I shown in the diagram also, and it will also sends the voltage signal changes as resistance in the part of the changes. Okay, and engine coolant temperature sensor. So when automatically during running position at the high speed, the temperature will raises, okay now that will detect this sensor, okay now measure the engine coolant temperature, and sensor mounted on the engine water jacket. Okay, so these are the all component which are fitted on the vehicle to pass the fuel to fuel from the engine cylinder. Okay. So these are the systems which are using. And also where the fuel injectors are located, if you they come question means, if the fuel injectors are located in head of the engine and threaded into the combustion chamber that are nozzle inside. Okay na, normally all the fuel injectors are fitted head of the near to the engine. Okay, how do they test the injector whether it is correct or wrong means, to test the fuel injector, start by popping your cars. Okay, popping your cars while holding the devices. Okay na, engine is running. Okay na, by popping the cars and hold the your whole engine in running, then place a metal rod and screwdriver on the injector. Okay na, if it is become hot means you have something problem. Like that you can test the mm, injector. So like this, the different types of fuel injectors are using to transfer the fuel from fuel tank to combustion. In combustion, ignition takes place. From that we can move the what vehicle. So this is about the different types of fuel injectors which are using in the vehicle. I hope you understand this. Thank you.